Hey, welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. Marianne DeNovellis here with you today. I am excited to have this conversation with you. We're going to talk relationships, but not just customer versus employee or client. This is at work relationships. We're going to dive deep into it and see why they're so important. So stay tuned. So I've got 7 tips for you today on how to build better relationships at work, whether you're building relationships with your clients, whether you're building relationships with your employees, or whether you're building a relationship with your colleagues and coworkers. These are tips that are going to work in every single arena. Number 1, communication is absolutely key to everything. And gosh, let's be honest, this expands beyond the workplace, right? This expands into your home life, your personal life, your hobbies, everything. Communication is absolutely key. To be concise, to be clear, and to be accurate in your communication. Let people know where you're going to be. Let people know when you're going to be back. Let memos go out ahead of time, advanced communication. I could do a whole separate video on just communication skills alone, but communication skills with your employees are vital. And it's important that they know that the communication is a two-way street. It's important that you be approachable in your communication. Let them know that it's okay to talk to you. It's okay to send you an email. Respond to those emails. Respond to your texts. Answer when people call you. This is a huge, fundamental, very simple, but very not well understood aspect in building relationships. Number 2 really relates to number 1, and it's to be a reflective listener. And again, take this one home. Try this at home. Being a reflective listener sounds like this. When someone offers you some information, you're going to respond to them in a way that sounds like, so what I hear you saying is, and you're going to filter back to them everything that you just heard. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier this week, and we were having this really interesting communication where, we haven't known each other very long. We've known each other maybe about 2 or 3 weeks. And so we're studying and trying to figure out how to communicate with each other. And we were hitting some bumps in the road along the way. And I was so impressed with this person that was talking to me because every time I would say something to them, they would respond with, so what I hear you saying is, and then they would regurgitate back to me what I had said to them using their interpretation of it. Because here's what's happened, okay? You've got a message, something that you need to deliver to another person. But behind your message, you've got this whole window of your belief system, right? And I call it a window because we see everything with that filter on it. So if I have this window that says I'm difficult to understand, then everything that gets pushed through that window is going to be clouded with that. I've also got my window of understanding of the world. All of these beliefs and these ideas, everything that you communicate is going to be passed through that filter. Now, your message is immediately diluted because it's got your filter on it, right? And then you've got someone else who has their own filters, their own ideas, their own beliefs, their own perceptions, and that message has now passed through one filter of you, and now it's got to be delivered to another person through their own filter. So by the time your message gets from your mouth to their ears, it's already been put through 2 different filtration systems. Pretty complex, right? It's as if you need a translator or a decoding machine that can decode the message from the first person, encrypt it, and break down the encryption and put it into the coding translation system of the other person. It can get really complicated really fast. And the way to break through all of those barriers is to do this reflective listening and say, what I hear you saying, or if I understand you correctly, or now this is what I understand from what you just said. If you do that reflective listening, it will not only improve relationships because you're telling them what you heard, it'll also improve your effectiveness at work, it'll improve your productivity because you'll be on the same page with that special decoder phrase. So use those decoder phrases when you're being a reflective listener. Another way to improve your relationship with work is be punctual. Okay, this is super important, and believe me, I have learned this from experience. There was a time in my life where I stunk at this. I was awful. I was consistently 5 to 10 minutes late, and it was to the point where people could rely on me to be to 10 minutes late, and it just felt awful. I was always the last one in the room. It spelled disaster because it really hampered my reliability and eroded the trust that other people had in me. So be punctual. Not only be punctual, but be early. I actually, in my car, to combat this, I set my car's clock to an unknown number of minutes fast. So I don't know how many minutes fast the clock is in my car, because if I do, then I'll subtract that time and be late to everything again, right? So I set my car fast, I set my clocks at home fast, I set my phone a little bit fast so that I can be ahead of the game. Be punctual, be on time. One of the most key factors that will enhance your relationship at work is getting rid of gossip. Drama is such a production killer. Drama is going to erode. You could even kill your business if you had enough of it. This backbiting and this drama and eroding and tearing people down, or even if it's not intentionally tearing people down, just spreading things around that aren't true and maybe aren't even relevant to your business. I like to be the gossip shutdown person. So when the gossip gets to me, I shut it down. I don't respond to it, I don't feed it, and I don't spread it. So when I hear someone saying something about somebody else that's not relevant to business or that's not relevant to what I'm building in my work, I won't acknowledge it at all. I won't respond to it. Even if they ask me a direct question, I say, that doesn't sound like what we're working on today. Let's refocus. So refocus your perspective and your energy onto something that's not gossip. You have to let it go in order to have a successful business, period. Last but not least, treat people fairly. And I know it sounds redundant, I know it sounds cliche, but listen to what I'm talking about here. You know, I'm going to go back to a story, and if you're a Bible reader like I am, you're going to be familiar with this story, right? So there's this story of this queen who treated everyone fairly because she came from the lower class and got put into the upper class. So she treated people from the lower class the same way that she would treat the king and all the people in the court, right? And that set this person apart and gave her such political leverage that she was able to change the fate of an entire nation. Okay, so let's take that story and translate it into the workplace. You know, if you see the person that's cleaning up your office, maybe you work in an office building and there is a hired team to come in and change out the garbage cans, to clean the carpets, and to do all of the maintenance for you. Treat them as if they were your boss. Treat them with the utmost respect. Treat the person on the street. I mean, practice this in every aspect of your life. The person that's holding up the cardboard sign gets treated the same as the President of the United States. Treat people fairly and equally, because that's how people want to be treated, and that's going to build effective, amazing relationships. It's really easy when maybe you have the big dog of your company or big dog of a joint venture that you're doing to really put them above you or above somebody else. Don't let that happen. Treat everyone with the same respect. The most popular people I knew in high school were the people that treated everyone the same way and showed the same kindness and respect to no matter who they were. So those are your top tips. Build those amazing good relationships at work by doing and following these ideas. Okay, cool. So biggest name of the game is to stop the gossip train on this one, you guys. You know that's what you need to do. It's going to make your workplace better for everybody. Hit the subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow.